It smells so good in here. And what I love about this is make it the night before. I thought Abby had a great idea. This is a great one to make the night before Thanksgiving. This is a baked French toast, which is like a bread pudding or a casserole. We're in casserole mood this week. And what I love about it is you make it the night before, so all you gotta do is pop it in the oven when you're ready for it. And it's just this baked French toast with beautiful flavors, but then we're gonna make that pecan pie sticky, kind of toffee-y syrup over the top. Oh, it's so good. We're gonna get started on that first. Over here I have a stick of unsalted butter. Let's add some stuff to this. I'm gonna do 3/4 cup of brown sugar. You can do light or dark. I like to do light because we're gonna be adding some darker flavors in here. But whatever, I've made it both ways, and whatever you have in the pantry. So right away we're kind of making a fun little caramel sauce here. Let that start melting in. And I used unsalted butter, of course, because we're just going to go ahead and add our own big old pinch of salt in here. We want that sweet and salty. I'm also going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. I want a cinnamon flavored syrup going on here. So let that really melt in. I can already see the sugar dissolving in here, making a fun little caramel sauce. I kind of give that brown sugar just a moment here to get a head start, because we're going to also add, yeah, now we're talking. We're gonna add a little maple syrup, some real maple syrup. Now is the season to be grabbing it everywhere. We have such great local maple syrup around here. Grab your favorite and get that in there. We want this sticky. What is a pecan pie? It's sticky. It's so good because it's so sticky, and I love, love, love that texture and flavor. So I'm gonna keep whisking this in. Now, I'm also gonna add, this is optional. I don't know why there's only this much left. It was full this morning, Sarah. I'm just kidding. Sarah did not drink all this. But if you wanted to add a little bourbon or a little whiskey, just a tablespoon, feel free. I'm gonna add just a little bit. But that is optional. Certainly don't have to do that. Just adds a little oomph. I'm looking for a little oomph in this. So now this is starting to come to a boil, which I love. And what I'm gonna do from here, yep, that sugar's already dissolved, nice and smooth. Let's go ahead and get some heavy cream in here, some of our Lamers heavy cream, to get this nice and rich. And then we're gonna go ahead and just let this kind of cook down for a few minutes while we get our bread ready. Now, for a bread pudding like this, we love to visit the bakery where the day-old or 2-day-old bread is. It works perfectly. So this bread is a little on the stale side, which is what we're looking for. But if you have some fresh bread and you're not, you're thinking it's not gonna be stiff enough for you because it needs to absorb this texture, absorb this custard, go ahead and just cut it into cubes like this, throw it on a sheet pan, let it do its thing in the oven for like 5 to 8 minutes. It'll get nice, it'll turn into like really lightly toasted croutons, and that's perfect. But this is nice and crusty and is feeling stale, so I'm happy. All right, let me give this a whisk, make sure this is coming together nicely, this sticky syrup. All right, so now I had a whole loaf of bread here. Let me finish cutting these into cubes. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's all just gonna kind of bake together and get ugly. Bread puddings are never pretty. They're always kind of ugly, but gosh, they're so good. I started loving bread puddings when I worked at Bay Family Restaurant all through high school and a little bit of college, because you know I didn't finish college, so, but I did work at Bay Family. And they always had the bread pudding that was sliced, had raisins in it, and at first I thought it was hideous, and then the more I ate it, the more I loved it. And I became such a bread pudding girl. Savory, sweet, all the things. Okay, so now my syrup has come together. It is looking smooth and glossy. Let's go ahead and get our pecans in here so they start getting a little bit of a glaze on them, kind of toasting up a little bit in that syrup. I'm gonna switch from a whisk. And now we're gonna make our custard filling. Very easy pantry staples. First, I have 3 egg yolks that I'm gonna add in here. Now, a lot of bread puddings just call for eggs. I like to do eggs, a combination of eggs and egg yolks a lot of times because it just makes it richer, especially if you're doing a French toast. French toast, what is it? It's battered in all those eggs. I want this to be just a little bit more on the custardy side. And then I'm gonna do 6 eggs, cracking my eggs on a flat surface, of course. It really reduces the chance of the shell going in. As I always tell, I'm picturing Jack. He's 12 today. He's so tall and his voice is getting deeper and it's so hard. I can remember him being little and going, thumbs in, thumbs up. That's what I always said, thumbs in, thumbs up. But now it's like thumbs in, thumbs up. It hurts. I know all you parents out there know what I'm talking about. It's hard. He did get a huge pile of a donut cake this morning when he came downstairs. Donuts with candles in them. So he was pretty excited this morning. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and whisk up these eggs with a few things here. Let's whisk them up with a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of a warm spice here, along with a wrong place. Teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. Give that a whisk. Now we're gonna add more brown sugar into this. We need to sweeten up. This is sweet. We need to sweeten this up. So let's go ahead and add in some brown sugar again. Of course, this recipe will be posted after the show on our social medias and on our website, so you can find all the exact amounts through that. A little dash of vanilla. How you doing over here, friend? I think you're good. I'm gonna take you off the heat. Yum. Because we have one in the oven to show you, we made 2 of these today. It'll be this one going in the oven, and we have one ready to go. So we doubled the syrup. So we have some pecan syrup over here. We keep eating it with a spoon. We don't need no stinking French toast. It's so good. It's just buttery and delicious. We're gonna add in some of our Lamers heavy cream and whole milk. But remember, we're making a custard here. There's nothing about this that isn't rich and decadent, but it's the holidays. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I had a greased baking dish here, 9 by 13. Pour this over the top. Get that brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg infused custard all over the top. And what you're gonna do from here is you're gonna cover this and put it in your refrigerator. Now I kind of like to do this, sink it down, make sure every piece of bread is getting coated in that custard. But I have it, you're gonna cover it, and then you're going to the next day put it in the oven. It starts with a foil over the top, takes off, finishing's getting nice and brown. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Whew. Okay, and then this is the one we had ready to go. Right before you serve it, look at how rich and glazy that is. You're just gonna want to glaze the top of it with this. It is so delicious. I'm just gonna eat this real quick. Oh, it's so buttery, and that salt in there, the sweet and salty, absolutely delicious. Highly recommend.